So welcome to practical 3. In this series we're going to see how we can proceed with the project that you had already started, and now we are going to link external CSS, we see. So let us open our project. So from here we can launch the notepad++, and here we have the code that we had written earlier on, the code. So you can also still learn this and see how our project was working. So in this you can see we had applied different CSS under this, although it was in the same HTML document. If you want to see how you have applied your styles, you can just right click and then you go to inspect. This is the developers tools, and then from here we have different stylings that you can see. As I hover around, they are just indicated there, so you can, it is good. You see if your styles are working here, and in these you can see different styles that we have applied, including in our and here we have the magic box where we have applied, including the margins, the border, the padding. You can all get at the inspect part and look at if your styles are working. So now I'm of opinion that we try to see how we can link this CSS outside this. So you see here we have the different CSS. I want us we try to link it outside. So I'm just going to go to the file here, and then I'll have the new, and then in this new I'm going to save it as maybe still let's remain on the desktop the way it is. Let's remain in the desktop as it is. Then I have style, dot css, that way. So that style.css, and then I can just come here and then I can try and copy paste all this. Let me try and copy paste all this. I can cut, let me just cut it. If I cut and then comes here, and then I can paste it there, and then from there I can just save that, and then I can just come here and then I can save there. And if I comes here and refresh, you can see now I have no any style applied to my document or to my website. So now what I can try to do is to come here on my header bit here, on my header bit here. Let me do away with the style, and then I try to link it and see if it is going to work. So I have the link, can use the link, and then maybe ln, and then this one I can say is equals to, and then I give my file name. No, this one is a style, as a style sheet, style sheet, then style sheet I can give the attribute, that is the href. I give my file name here, and in this I can call it add, given the name as, I can just come here, can just come there. That was the style dot CSS. That was the style.css, and then I can save it. Just go and try to refresh. Still there is nothing that has happened. You can see instead it has included it on this part. So let's see what might be a problem. So we have the link, then we have the real, the style sheet href is equals to that. So so let's try to do the correction. Here we have not the tags. Let's put the tags. We put the tags inside it. We put the tags inside that, maybe so that we can see if it works or not. But differently it is going to work if at all we add some tag inside it. So we can just check it if we see if it is going to work that way. We can put this tag here. Good, and there it works, so you can see by us pressing the angle bracket, it has been able to link this our CSS to the channel CSS. So there are many ways that we can add these, including these colors. For example, if I comes to this my color coding on this my CSS, where I have the color red, instead of maybe applying that, I can use the hexadecimal combination of this red, and the hexadecimal combination of red, maybe it's hash, maybe F, and maybe we have the what? We have the 0, 0, 0, 0. So remember, if I save this, let's save, we see. If I comes and refresh here, still it doesn't change. It doesn't change because it is still the lead. What if I use a different color code, like maybe for instance I have it being maybe hash. I can use maybe 6, maybe 3, maybe 9, and then I can save it and try to refresh here. Yeah, you see now the color changes, and this one depends if you know these color combinations. You can just use their name. You can still use as many color code as possible. Maybe you can decide to use another color code that I can remember. Maybe you can have it maybe BC, then 8F, 8F, then 8, and then another F, and then from here you can just save it and refresh it from our browser. We see, yeah, and we have a nice also color that we can work on. So that's a different CSS that we can use. Remember also, you can have the color by their RGBA combinations, that is the the primary colors plus the opacity. So under these I can just come here to these, and then from there what to hide, and then from here maybe for example I have this, then from here I can give the RGBA, and then inside the RGBA I can give different colors. So let me give this color to where I have this, where I have that, let me do this, and then where I have this, maybe this yellow, it is under H1. So if you look at the browser here, it is yellow, and then here I can just come here and give this to be RGBA, and then inside this RGBA I can give a bracket, and then for the first color it's black, and then the other still color is give 0, and then the other color still we can give it a 0 because we want it to be black. That is the absence of 4 colors, and then we can give the opacity of 0.5 of 0.5, and then let us try to save it, and then let us try to refresh here, and here you can see we have the black now color. So that's another way that you can give your color combination if you are so sure of what happens. And maybe for example, what if this one I want it to be white? If I want to give this one to be white, white is the presence of 4 colors, is the presence of 4 colors. Let us give the maximum of it. We give maybe we give a 255, give a 255, and here we give a 255 also, and here we give a 255 also, 255, and then let us try to save it and try to refresh it here. So that's not reflected. It has varied that to be a 0. So if you are aware of all these colors, you can give, let me see if this can work. I don't know which color is that. So that's how you can apply that. And remember, in this we have been selecting our tags depending on, if you come here to our main code, depending on this. So let us maybe give this class, maybe we give an ID to this paragraph. Give an ID to this paragraph. Maybe we can give an ID of our ID. Maybe we say this ID is equals to maybe text, maybe text, maybe this ID is equals to text, that way, and then from there text we can just save it. If we save it and then we want to give a style to this paragraph where we have this basic website is important too. If you come here, this basic website, you can see it is plain. Maybe we want to give a color to it. So how do we reference the ID? How do we reference the ID? So for us to be able to reference our ID here, what we can just have is maybe what we can just have to have that different. We can maybe start this with a hash, and then the name followed by the name. Our name was, maybe for example, maybe in this case our name was what our name was maybe the text. Our name was maybe text. Text that way. And then here we had, you can give maybe say the give the color. You can give that color to be either the red. That, then we can try to save it. Let's try to refresh it here. Is it not working to our side? Maybe we can check. This basic website is important. It's supposed to be reflecting to have read. This is the text. Let me see how my this is our text. You see that isn't why maybe it isn't working. So I don't know the reason why maybe it isn't, but that is the way that you can select by the ID. What if I wanted to select by class? Let us select by class. We see if it is going to work on our side. So let us create this class to be, we give it a class here, and this is that class is equals to that. If that is equals to class, we can just come to this our CSS here, and then instead of us having this, we can give this one dot that dot text, and then we can try to save it, and then from saving you can just refresh it. Can refresh it that way. So now let us see on how we can create different classes here. Different classes such that we have this maybe for example we can give the class here of the input different classes. So the only idea that we had today is how we can link this information and have an external CSS. Remember, these files also you can just come here, you can just come and they have them. You can see now they are scattered in my desktop. I can just come and create a folder for them, maybe a new, and then I can have the folder, maybe I can say website, yeah, website, and then out of these, remember this is the image that we have used. I can just drop on it that way. I can just drop to it, then drop to that way. So now they will be organized in one folder like that. And then still if I launch them, You can see now there is something that has happened. There is something that has happened, and the reason that has happened is that this folder doesn't exist anymore. This folder doesn't exist anymore. So what do? I can just come inside this folder, open it, and then maybe try to open it now using the using that. So now you can see still I have them running just the same way that they were running before. And that's how you can have a different CSS in a different file and link it to your website. And remember, it is easy to do all the styling when we have external CSS, because all the styles that you apply to your website will be on this file, and then all your HTML will be found on this other file on the other side here. All these will be found on this. And that brings us to the end of this section on the CSS external linking. I was your trainer, Maurice Monene. If you found this video of importance to you, please consider subscribing, like, and share it so that it can reach more students. Thank you.